What's up guys, Hero here. So today we're going to talk about the top 10 TCG exclusives of all time. Those are cards that were TCG exclusive at first, meaning they first got released in the TCG before seeing the OCG. Now keep in mind that there are two conditions. One, we're talking about cards, not entire archetypes. So archetypes like Burning Abyss and Cosmo that were really strong in TCG exclusive will not be part of this list as they're entire archetypes, not single cards. And second of all, I will not be listing two recent cards. So first off, honorable mentions to Dark Ruler, No More and Nibiru. Everyone knows about them. They would easily be top 3, but they're not that interesting to list here as everyone knows they exist and they're too recent. And it's hard to decide if they aged well too because, well, I mean, they're very recent. So kicking off the list, at number 10 we have Gateway of the Six. Gateway of the Six was initially a TCG exclusive and boy, this is quite the defining card. So each time a 6 samurai monster is normal or special summoned, you can place 2 Bushido counters on this card. You can remove Bushido cards from your field to activate these effects. 2 counters increase the attack of a 6 samurai or Xian monster. 4 counters add a 6 samurai monster from your deck or grave to your hand, and for 6 counters you can revive a Xian effect monster from your grave. So the most applicable usage is the stacked effect, adding a 6 samurai monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. A good card as an example of how to abuse this card is Kizan. Kizan can special summon itself when you control a 6 samurai that isn't Kizan. Grandmaster of the Six also is a great target for this card. Also another interesting fun fact, Grandmaster of the Six was also TCG first, just like some other 6 samurai cards. But Gateway of the Six was the most mentionable as everyone who knows this card knows it's really strong. Like, it defines 6 samurai, at least modern 6 samurai, as a deck. Being able to just constantly keep up putting counters and keep searching 6 samurai monsters, it's insanely strong. So at number 9 we got Xavier Dark Soul. Now initially this card had another effect. Its current effect is that during the end phase, if this card is sent from your side of the field to your graveyard this turn, you can add 1 Xavier monster from your deck to your hand. I mean, that sounds fine, right? But the initial TCG printing, the first variant of this card, had a quite different effect. Whenever it was sent to the graveyard, this effect would trigger. Basically meaning, if you sent the same copy 5 times to the graveyard in the same turn, you would get 5 searches in the end phase. And that was brutal. Being able to just search a lot of Xaviers that way, it was way too strong. This was one of the cards that helped Xavier being one of the best decks around that time. They were able to rival Infernity, which was also a strong deck. But yeah, Xavier Dark Soul was definitely a strong TCG exclusive. I wonder if this card was really needed, the existence of this card. Did we need another strong Xavier card? Well, apparently Konami thought so. So number 8 is Mermen Abystius. Mermails have been relevant for quite a while, and one of their cards they usually maxed on, or at least ran multiple copies of, was Mermen Abystius. This is a TCG exclusive initially. And its effect states you can discard one other water monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand, and when it's summoned this way you can add a level 4 lower Mermen monster from your deck to your hand. Now, this did half once per turn, of course. But still, this is quite strong. I mean, being able to just discard any water monster, you can also just discard an Atlantean, and searching another Mermen on summon is really, really strong. In these kind of decks, discarding isn't the worst thing to do. I mean, it's not really that much of a cost. So being able to put a buddy on the field for that quote-unquote price is really strong. Next one I want to mention is Dark Greffer. Dark Greffer apparently was TCG first, which surprised me. So basically you can special summon this card by discarding 1 level 5 or higher Dark Monster, and then once per turn you can discard 1 Dark Monster, send 1 Dark Monster from your deck to the grave. Now this card is currently limited, which says a lot about its power. And the fact that it actually was printed here first, the Phantom Darkness, when Dark Armed Dragon was already so strong, is surprising, honestly. Did Dark Armed Dragon really need so much additional power? And this card has definitely seen some play during the years. Infernity loved abusing this card too, for example. And who can forget the recent deck Orcus that got this card limited in the first place. Yeah, Dark Greffer is definitely a strong card, and the fact this actually was a TCG exclusive says a lot about the power level of some of these exclusives. So my number 6 is Wind Up Sandmains. Now, most people nowadays might not know this ranked 3, but initially around its release it was a must in any deck. If you were able to get 2 level 3s out on the field, you would be running Sandmains. Especially combined with the card that will be mentioned after this, it's a staple in any deck. Such a strong card. Basically, if this face-up card on the field would be destroyed, it can detach material from it instead. And then, once per turn during the end phase, if this effect was used, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. Well, it's not that you can, you actually have to use that effect. So, not only did it protect itself and have a decent defense, I mean 2100 isn't terrible, it was also able to destroy something in the end phase if they failed to destroy it. This means they need to basically try to destroy it 3 times or otherwise remove it from the field. And options like Castle just weren't there yet, so it was quite a strong monster back then. So my number 5 is Tool Guide from the Underworld. It only recently went to 2 and it might go to 3 soon, but this card was strong. Especially on release around Elemental Dragons when they became a thing. Oh boy, this card was expensive. If I'm not mistaken, the first printing actually went up to like 100, 150 bucks. Then it got reprinted in the battle pack and even then it was still expensive. And it is basically one of the signature cards of Burning Abyss. It's possibly the best Burning Abyss normal summon. So the fact that this card is actually TCG first is impressive and interesting. My number 4 is a card that if you're an older player you might know, Lonefire Blossom. Nowadays it's not that relevant anymore, but especially back in the day with Plant Synchro it was such an insane card. Now this card got reprinted to OCG before Plant Synchro really became a thing, so it was that bad of an exclusive card. But the impact of this card in the game is insane. I mean, it was ran for a long time, OCG still has it somewhere on the ban list. TCG currently has the 3, but that might change any day. I mean, plants just aren't insanely strong. Although Global Bulb did get the ban, so maybe it's less problematic now. But Lonefire Blossom is a card that is aged insanely well, especially when Soul Charge became a thing, it buffed Sylvan to the next level. Lonefire Blossom is really strong and it just goes to show that some of the TCG exclusives are really, really good. So my number 3 is something that actually surprised me. I had no idea. Illyria of Darkness. Yes, Illyria of Darkness was a TCG exclusive initially. This was also in a Phantom Darkness, just like Dark Grepher. I mean, on top of just having Dark Armed Dragon, we also got Illyria of Darkness and Dark Grepher in the same set, which of course made a big impact on the game. Now it makes sense that why Teledad was such a strong deck here, why any Dead variant really just was instantly strong in the TCG. I mean, getting that much dark support, oh boy. Illyria of Darkness was on the limited list for a long while. It's been famously used by a lot of dark decks. Infinity uses it nowadays sometimes. I know Blackwings used it. A lot of decks used Illyria of Darkness over the course of the game. So my number 2, and I didn't actually know this one either, is Charge of the Light Brigade. Oh boy, what a strong card. This card states that you need to send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard as a cost. Like that's a cost in Lightsworns. At 1 level 4 lower Lightsworn monster from your deck to your hand. So not only is it a search spell, but it also mills. This card is absurd in Lightsworn, and I'm pretty sure it hit the ban list at some point. Not banned, but either limited or semi-limited. And that does make sense. I mean, Lightsworn's deck were insanely strong. People nowadays might not realize that, but Lightsworn was definitely for a long while one of the top cards. For a while. And even in the last few years, some people opted to run Charge of the Light Brigade with a mini engine, because the billing is just that good. This card definitely aged well, and such a strong card, that's actually insane. And of course the number 1 is Maxie. Yes, Maxie was a TCG exclusive. So, just like some other cards, TCG has apparently ruined the game, partially, as they made Maxie a thing. Basically, during either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. This turn, each time your opponent special summons a monster, you immediately draw 1 card. So, this is insane in combination with other hand traps. Now, at its release, it wasn't that big of a deal. Not that many decks summoned a lot of times per turn, and there weren't that many great hand traps to draw into, but nowadays this card's beyond busted, and it's sensibly banned. Anyone with a brain could realize that Maxie deserves to be on the ban list. But no matter your stance on this, you can't deny the impact this card has on the game. So it being number 1 on this place, so this card being the number 1 on this list is more than justified if you ask me. It also combines well with another TCG exclusive, Troll and Lockbird, that's just such a strong hand trap. Anyways, these were my top 10 TCG exclusive cards, or cards that are TCG exclusive at first. Any cards I missed? Also, if you guys liked this kind of content, I will be making more videos about TCG exclusive cards. I will go in depth of what people's reactions were to the cards, as it's easy to see it for TCG exclusives, as you know, special sites like Pojo, people made individual card reaction threads. It will be cool to see what impact on the card that card had on the meta and the game in general. There it is now. Kinda like I do it with Diamonds in the Rough, except we talk about a TCG exclusive. Does this kind of content sound interesting to you? Tell me so in the comments. And I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to tell me any ones I missed. There are a lot of options. At the top of my head, there are cards like Test Tiger, Tempest Magician, that I just totally couldn't put on here because I could only list 10. There are quite some insane options. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. See you guys next time. Starts here signing out.